Hi, this is Jeremy from My Mother's Daughter Hand Spun, and in this video I'm going to be doing a demonstration of how I spin thick and thin yarn, also called slub yarn. So I'll try to go over how to change the size of your slubs and how to do joins. And there's lots of videos out there on this type of yarn. This is just the way that I do it. So I have my wheel set up with a pretty good uptake. You don't want it yanking the yarn out of your hands, but it is a single, and so you want to spin slow and you want it to take up quickly so as not to get too much twist in it, because you want a balanced yarn. Just a little bit of technical stuff. Slub yarn is a woolen yarn, so you're using a woolen draft, which basically just kind of means you're letting the twist move into your drafting zone. So if that's confusing for you, or you want to learn a little bit more about the different ways of drafting and why you do them, J.C. Boggs' Craftsy class called Drafting Worsted to Woolen is an excellent resource for that. So I'm going to go ahead and get started attaching my fiber to my leader. And so you see a woolen draft. I'm letting go and letting the twist move into my drafting zone. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing my slubs. And you'll see I'm pulling back and letting the fiber start to thin and guiding that twist into the thin areas. So twist is going to gravitate towards the thinner portions of your yarn. So in thick and thin, the slubs have very little twist, whereas the thin areas have a high level of twist. So I'm going to begin altering the size of my slubs. So these are about a medium-sized slub. If I want a big slub, I'm going to pinch further back into my fiber and just grab a bigger chunk of fiber. Let that twist move into it. You see, that's a really big slub. Okay, medium slub, I'm going to grab, you see I'm grabbing right at the point where the twist moves into the fiber, and that's going to give me a pretty good medium-sized slub. Okay, if I want a smaller slub, I'm going to move closer to the twist, further from the fiber, and pinch a smaller amount of fiber. And you'll see that's it's a tiny slub. You almost can't even tell it's a slub because of the amount of fiber that I pinched. So again, big slub, move back into your fiber source, pinch, draft, pull back, and let that twist move into the thin area. Medium slub, pinch right where the twist moves into the drafting area, or the fiber source, draft it out. And then little slub, move closer to the twist, further from the fiber source, and get that little slub. And so that is how I change the size of the slubs. So for the yarn that I'm going to be spinning, I want a medium slub. So I'm going to be pinching where the fiber and the twist come together. Sorry, my arm is in the way. I woolen draft with my left hand and I worsted draft with my right, and I don't know why I do that. That's how I do it. So my hand is going to be in the way of my camera because the window's behind you, and if I switch sides, there'll be a big glare. So I'll try to keep my hand out of the way. Okay, so I think it's also really important to note that this is the full size roving. You can split the roving if that will make it easier to get the size slub that you want, but it's not necessary. It really is all about where you pinch the fiber from, how close to the twist or how far into your fiber you pinch and how much of it. So just briefly, I'm going to show you how I join, because that's important, because inevitably your fiber will break or you'll need to add more. So you see where it's broken, it's real wispy. I don't know if you can see that. So I take my new fiber, I lay it over, and so the wispies from the end of this are going towards the twist. I'm going to grab those wispies under my thumb. Pretty sure that's a technical term, wispies. And make sure that your fibers from the wheel are going straight. Pinching, and so I have some of those tiny fibers from the new fiber source under my thumb. And as it twists here, I don't know if you can see it, it's grabbing my new fiber. So as I'm pinching, I've got some of the new fiber and some of the wisps from the the fiber attached to the wheel already. I don't know if any of that's making sense. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Okay. So again, I'm going to break it off. Okay, got my wisps and the wisps. making sure some of the little wispy pieces, not much, just the very ends, are under my thumb up here. And that the wisps from the fiber coming from the wheel are under my hand back here, under my drafting hand. So that as you twist, this tight twist here in the small area is grabbing those little wispies from the new fiber. So there you have it. That is how I spin slub yarn, how I join, how I change the size of my slubs. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. You can also email me at mymothersdaughterhandspun@gmail.com, and check out my Etsy shop, Mom's Daughter Handspun on Etsy, as well as Instagram at My Mother's Daughter Handspun. Thanks.